guys, and welcome to the 360 Marketing Squad. Woo! We've got Stephanie Liu, Mike Alton, and we've got Jen Herman, hey, and your girl Amanda Robinson over there. Dun, 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 dun. If you guys are just tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. I'm here in San Diego. Mike.
I am in St. Louis, and it's still cold.
Jen.
I'm actually in San Diego for the first time in like over a month of these shows.
Yeah. Hey, Jen. Nice to see you. Okay, Amanda, where are you?
Yeah. So I changed locations again. So 2 days ago, I was in Wichita, Kansas in a snowstorm. And now, yesterday, I was in Houston, Texas. Now I'm in Nederland, Texas. And it's gorgeous, balmy weather out there. Like, I was able to walk out with no coat, and it's warm. I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah, so I'm in Texas right now.
Nice. Love it. All right, you guys, if you're just tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. Yvi is already here. She said that she saw Jen's Instagram story. So, hey, Yvi.
Hi. Hey, girl.
Cool. So, you guys, we're going to be talking about all the latest developments in terms of what's happening in the social media landscape and how it's going to affect you and your business. So, let's go ahead and get things started. Look at that. I've had a lot of coffee. All right, Jen. Okay, Jen. Instagram direct messages on the web. What are your thoughts on that?
So I have to admit, when this came out, I was like, ugh, why? But then I was like, I talked to enough people that I'm like, okay, I know, I understand why. And again, it's one of those things where we're so programmed to using Instagram for a mobile device that when they add all these web features, a lot of people are really excited about it. But I literally never log on to Instagram.com because I'm going to use it on my phone. That's just what makes sense to me.
Because you're one button Jen.
I'm one button Jen. I'm like, don't make me do more things. Like, I don't want to go more places, people. But I would admit that, like, there are a lot of times I do get some Instagram direct messages that are very, let's say they require a Mike Alton type answer, which is basically it requires like a 2,000 character blog post response.
So what are you trying to say here?
And I have to admit, I always delay responding to those people because I'm like, ugh, I don't want to type this up on my phone right now, or I don't have the time. And in those situations, yes, having something like Instagram.com access where I could go to my actual computer and use my keyboard and actually type up a well-written, longer response and not take 45 minutes of doing this.
Sorry. I was like, doing what? Like this?
It was like a song show. I was like,
is that like when you're at the Oscars and you've given your acceptance speech for too long and the music just starts, the microphone starts to like disappear?
No, because you know I actually started doing like this, and I was like, what was that? And then my finger just triggered. Wait, what were you trying to say? What are you doing on the web?
My long ass fingers. Fingernails. I can't tap on my phone. Yes.
No, you can't. You were actually a magician at that. I've watched you, and the fact that you can like still manipulate all these messages with fingernails, but like most of us women can't manipulate a keyboard the way that you can, let alone the phone. So good on you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mike's over here. He's like, yeah. But yeah, so I do think in the long run, I think it's a good thing. The reality is this is probably pushing towards that platform that they announced a few months ago where they were trying to get all of the Facebook family of apps onto a streamlined back-end source for messaging. So it would make sense that there would be a web version of Instagram direct messages because of the fact that they want everything to run on a simple, platform across all the devices or all the platforms. So it makes sense. It's one of those things where I'm not like, oh, yay, new feature. I mean, if you saw my live show on Wednesday, people, there is a new feature that Mama is super excited about, and I lost my shiz over this new feature. But this one, like direct messages, I'm like, yeah, okay, there's a new functional tool out there. Like, I'm not excited about this one, but I know a lot of people are.
Well, since you kind of let
it... I was going to say, can we just have this one little moment here of how I love that these are the people that I hang out with. The people... And they're talking about a certain platform. The geek out level is like at the extreme peak of like, there is nothing better on the planet. And that's why we're friends.
Absolutely. Because no one else understands why I was geeking out. Like, literally, so you guys I will tell you, and then we can get back to the actual direct message feature. But I went live on Instagram like I do every Wednesday, or every other Wednesday. And I start YouTube first, and because I'm, live stream from my computer on YouTube, and then I go live on my phone for Instagram. And as I pull it up, and I've got the YouTube camera going, so you can literally go watch the YouTube video if you want the whole like world of Jen's crazy. And as I pull up my Instagram live, it says enter a title for your video, and I was like, shut the front door! Like I just like started screaming. I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? And I'm like, I was literally freaking out because we've never been able to title our Instagram lives. You've had to like post a comment and then pin the comment. So if somebody came in, they would see your pinned comment essentially as a title. But it's like every other live platform's always allowed you to title your live shows except for Instagram. So when they gave this functionality, I was like, by the time the show actually went live, I was already jumping up and down in my chair. People are coming on going, you've been on for 2 seconds. What did I miss? Like, how did I know? Like, what? And they're all freaking out. It was amazing. But that I get excited about. I'm like, I can title my live videos. This is the best day. But yeah, Instagram direct messages, I'm like, meh, whatever.
And you see, I'm the opposite. Like Instagram direct messages for me, I'm like, hell yeah, because right now Instagram is the only thing, and I communicate on Instagram with direct messages on a daily basis, and that is the only platform right now that I can't access on desktop. So I actually have to break my concentration. I have to go over to Instagram, pick up my phone, and get trapped in the distraction text over on my phone, and then back onto my computer. So the ability to just bring all my messaging from Facebook messages to iMessages to Instagram DMs, everything, just like bring it all on desktop. I'm like, hallelujah, please.
Mike and I are all like, one messaging to rule them all.
Right?
Well, Jen, you said it right, though, because this just happened to me last night, this morning on Facebook Messenger. One of our 360 Marketing Squad members, Sissy, she sent me a question via Facebook Messenger, and I saw it on my phone first. And it wasn't just like, hey, where's this link, right? She's like, how do I start an online business? I'm like, okay, girl. Oh my God. I can hook you up, but I ain't going to do it on my phone, right? So I had to wait like 2 hours, because I've got a morning routine and take the girls to school. Like I said, I had to wait a couple hours before I got down to the computer and could type that out.
Type it up, yeah.
And I had to remember that there was a message there waiting for me, too.
Right. And that's always the worst. And that's why I will admit, I don't know if people know that on Instagram direct messages, you can actually flag your DMs so that I can, because I will do that and I'll respond to somebody and be like, I totally want to get back to you on this. I want to let you know I saw the message, but I have to get back to you later when I have time to sit down and type up this response. But then I'll get 8 more messages that come in and that one gets buried and you forget about it and you're running around, and they're like, a week later, they're like, did you forget about me? And I'm like, oh yeah, I totally did. My bad. But you can actually flag messages on Instagram. So if you have a business profile, you can flag them, and that will actually allow you to put that reminder so I can go in and be like, oh yeah, I've got those 3 flagged messages. Maybe I should actually get back to people.
She's talking about me and my message that she forgot.
Yes, of course. Well, although Mike and I are live on like Instagram direct messages, Facebook messages, Skype messages, like all at the same time. We're like on 9 different platforms at the exact same time in like 4 different conversations.
Well, I commend you guys for actually typing stuff out, because sometimes I'm just like, voice message everything. I'm like, hey, Mike, this is what I'm thinking about. Hey, Amanda, where the hell are you now?
Whereas voice messages, I find that when people leave me voice messages, I generally I can't listen to them on the spot. Like I'll be driving or I'll be wherever in public. I don't listen to it on the spot, and then I forget to go back and listen to it. So I'm sorry. I think I have like 16 messages from Stephanie over the course of the last bunch of months, and I haven't listened to them.
Hey, fix your Wi-Fi. No.
And so I have to say, as you guys know, I love me some Instagram, but it's been really wonky for me lately, and I have not been able to listen to voice messages in my Instagram DMs. They won't play for me. So people have been sending me messages, and I have to reply back, and it's just been like the last week. And I have to reply back and be like, I literally can't listen to this message. It will not play for me. But I'm kind of like Amanda, where if I'm at work or if I'm doing something where sometimes I can listen to the message, but I can't record a message back. So then I have to take the time to type it up, or I'm in a place where I can't listen to the voice message. But to Stephanie's point, yeah, it is so much easier now that we have that, voice recording option where it's like, okay, this is going to take me like 6 hours to type up that response, but I can and just like spew it into a voice message and be done with it quick.
Wait, how was that again?
Just
please?
like that.
Oh my God, I've got like the best gift ever. If you guys don't know this, I am like working on my Jen gift library, and now I have like, I don't even know what sound that was.
I'm just a walking gift. It's amazing.
But let me just interject a little prediction here, because what I see happening now with Instagram integrating direct messages into the platform is opening up of the API for business direct messages, which means tools can help you monitor those business messages that are coming in, which means you can have teams involved, you can have canned responses involved, you can track response time and all those kinds of things that businesses desperately need and already have, frankly, on the Facebook side.
So I'm just going to throw in the one thing that it's just the one hiccup in all of that. It's amazing, it's great, but Instagram, because Instagram is the only platform right now, or one of the only, that you can't actually get messages on desktop, and you can't pipe those messages in through a third-party tool and whatnot. So it seems to be the quiet zone where you can have other conversations that aren't shared with the whole team. Whereas if other people have access to certain accounts, it's like the one untouched platform. Right? So now I just see it as.
What are you saying on Instagram that it has to be?
Yeah. Oh. What's going on in your DMs, honey? I take that back. I know what's going on in your DMs.
Oh, honey, let me tell you, okay?
Yeah. So, it could be interesting.
New Year.
Where's Mike? Mike, high five.
I know.
Other way, Mike. Other way. Yes.
Oh, I love you guys.
So where were we?
Honestly, to that point, that's what Mike just brought up about the API functionalities. We actually just had this conversation in my Facebook group, like yesterday and today, about the release of this new direct message feature for the website action. And one of the things was, when will third-party tools be able to have access to this? And I'm like, well, it's API, it's locked down. But yes, that's something that we would assume it would be moving in that direction. One of the predictions that I had for 2019 was that we're going to get more and more private conversations with our customers, clients, and audiences, less of the public-facing pages. It's going to be more of the groups, more of the direct messages where people want to be able to have one-on-one conversations, but there's no way to track that. That's not something that we have analytics or conversions to, go to our boss and be like, look, or go to our client and be like, hey, look at this. We're getting all these great conversions, or we're getting a 30% increase in this. We have no proof of that, but if we get that API functionality and those sorts of things, that would allow hopefully for some more reporting analytics or some sort of tracking that we would be able to use with our clients and management or whatever we need.
You know what I see for this? Chatbots.
Yes.
Just saying. I mean the good ones, the ones that we do love, the good ones, the non-spammy bots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And this is what's so cool about the 360 squad, right? Is we all have our own perspective, our own needs, wants, and goals and things, and yeah. So, Steph,
on that note, Mike, why don't you tell us about the 360 Marketing Squad?
Well, the 360 Marketing Squad is our private membership group where you get access to all four of us. You get access to monthly live trainings. And in fact, this coming week, I'm going to be doing the training all about how to structure your content to bring in more traffic, leads, and sales.
Yes.
And you can post questions and ask questions and get answers and network with the group. And it's all just $5 a month. 360marketingsquad.com.
I feel like you should have said traffic, sales, and leads. Like just can you do a snap for me? I go live next week. Okay, Mike Alton, you do your thing. Cool. Well, shout out to Ken Watson, Daniel, Bree, and Pam Curry, and Yuvi for joining us on the Lights Camera Live show. That's on my end. You guys have folks watching on your channels?
Yeah, just giant shout out to Tony. Tony watching on my end. Good to see you, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Cool. So other announcements that came out is a big one. I feel like everyone on LinkedIn was freaking out. And that was LinkedIn Live. Whoa. Finally finally rolling it out. What do you guys think so far about live streaming on LinkedIn?
Does anybody actually have it?
Not yet.
No.
So that was the big release, right? Everyone's like, mystery. Oh, we're getting LinkedIn Live, but I don't know a single person that actually has access to the functionality.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Daniel was just asking too. He was like, does anyone have it yet? It's like, no, I wish. I'm hoping.
Right now, they're only rolling it out right now to a certain key number of influencers. So it's only available for certain key people right now, and they get to play around with it and test it out. It's just launched last week, so I think it's going to be a little while before before us, us low-lying general public get access to it.
Cancel.
What are you saying?
I know.
Are you saying Jen's not an influencer?
Yes, so.
Right? Do they know who are in this room right now?
She's like, excuse me, and Mike's all like, la, 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 la. Welcome, Ken, to the show. You did not miss anything right now. Okay. Well, what's cool with LinkedIn Live is, that's a great opportunity to tap into an affluent audience. And I'm so interested in the fact that Switcher Studio is one of the live streaming platforms that has access to it. I'm like, oh, I've used Switcher Studio, so I'm super excited about that. I think that could be a ton of fun. Do you guys remember what the other brands were that have access to it? Is it like Wirecast?
Yeah, Wirecast and Social Live, and there's at least one or two others.
Got it. Well, cool. I'm excited about it.
I just worry, and I think, to Steph's point, like you said, it's a huge new market. It's something that could be hugely valuable, especially if you have the right network and you have the right relationships and you're creating the right content. I do worry about the fact that, every time something new launches on a platform, of course, we just end up seeing a whole bunch of monotonous randomness. People are just going to jump on there for the sake of saying, hey, I went live on LinkedIn and have no strategy, have no value add. And that's where I think, like any new feature on any new platform, don't just rush into it and be like, hey, I got LinkedIn Live. Let me just go live and, talk about my, I'm sitting here on the couch. Let me just talk about something random. Instead, have a strategy. Know where you're going to go with it. How long are you going to go live? What's the purpose of that call? And that's the same thing across any live platform. So don't ignore what you would do on any other platform just to try out LinkedIn Live.
I'm guilty of doing everything that you just accused. But that's how I learn. That's how I learn what it does, how it works, what I can break, what it's going to do, where to go wrong. So I'm like the guinea pig. Throw me at it. Let's see what happens, and then I'll make all the mistakes, and then I'll be able to teach you how to do it.
But the difference is if you let people know that's what you're doing with it.
Yes.
Then but it's the people who just go on just to go on and aren't doing it to learn. They're just doing it to be like, hey, I just want to go live because I can. You're going on and being like, because we've all seen, when you go live, when you get, whether it's an unboxing, whether it's trying out a new feature, and you literally say, I have this new thing and I've never touched this before, but I'm going to take you through the process with me. That's very clear and intentional in what you're doing. Yeah. So although you are doing the kind of I don't know what's going to happen, at least you're clear about it. You're not just faking your way through it to just try something else.
You're giving them a heads up, which is always great. I remember when I used to test out on Facebook Live, I would literally put in the caption, don't watch this. And then someone would sneak in and be like, I'm totally watching this. And I was like, okay, I see how your brain works. If I say don't do something, you'll do it.
Right, when I tell you, don't tune in.
Don't tune in, you guys. Don't share this.
Don't watch this. All I'm thinking is don't watch this. Da-na-na-na, da-na. Don't watch this. Yeah. Do not make that a gift. Thank you.
I would not blog about that right now.
Right?
Yes. I am not going to turn that into a GIF, Amanda. I am not going to do that.
I am not going to do that.
I was actually really quite surprised that for LinkedIn that they're partnering with those certain brands. I was really hoping that they would just connect it where you could just connect your camera to it. Because these days you could use virtual cameras to actually brand your show. You could download OBS virtual camera and use OBS to brand your show, do your intros and your outros without having to spend, any money on things like a Wirecast. So I'm curious about that.
Can the annoying skeptic in me just be like, they're also the last people to do live video. Every single platform can do live video, and LinkedIn is now rolling it out. So I'm you would think they can have all the functionality that everybody else has. It's not like the functionality is secret because every other platform is able to take advantage of these things. So I don't know if they're trying to do something different by partnering with these companies, or they're trying to set themselves apart in some way. But I'm like, to me, they're making it more difficult. Why would I go live on LinkedIn? It's one button, Jen. I don't want to use additional platforms to have to link in and pay for these other features and have these memberships and have these subscriptions and have all these things and have to just so I can go live on LinkedIn. It's so not going to happen. I can go live on Instagram like that.
I know why.
Why?
Well, I mean, this is it's a speculation.
Tell us
It
why.
may have no value at all. I'm about to tell you why. I'm very excited about it. But think about it. The people who could jump through all of those hoops to use all that software to go live are probably geeking out with higher end production or good production quality or have experience with live streaming. People who don't have any experience with live streaming, not to say One Button Gen has experience with live streaming, but there are other One Button non-gens out there. And this by setting it up this way, it can filter out some of the experience. Well, this is a new feature rolling out, so that LinkedIn can have good quality content rolling through it to attract people into consuming it.
Good point.
Can I share with you all a little bit of a history lesson as well? Because I think LinkedIn is actually being very smart and strategic about how they're rolling this out. If we think back to the last 6 to 7 years, live streaming's been around for that long. We had Hangouts. And if you remember Hangouts on Air, they had all the bells and whistles. You had branded shows 6 years ago over on Google+. You had Blab come out. You had Meerkat come out. You could bring guests on right off the bat from your phone, from your desktop, whatever you wanted to do. All of that existed, and those platforms aren't with us anymore. The most popular platform today for going live, Facebook. Does Facebook technically have all those features yet? No. They started with one person at a time, right? And they've slowly, gradually kind of, here, Johnny, we'll give you this tiny little feature and we'll make you happy, right? That's the way that Facebook has doled it out. And LinkedIn's kind of smartly sat back and watched and said, okay, well, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this the right way, which means we're going to limit access to create demand and interest before that's even rolled out. And we're going to partner, like you said, Amanda, I think you're spot on with that. We're going to partner with tools so that it's not super easy to just go live with your phone, because we don't want that. We want to be a little bit different. We want to be professional, and we want to allow people to create really, really smart looking streams. So we're going to make them go through the hoops and go through the use of tools that'll give them that.
That is smart.
That would be a mic drop.
Yeah.
In the most literal sense.
I love it. I love it. And then Amazon is also rolling out live streaming too.
What?
It's like your own.
Does everybody have live streaming today?
No, it's like
you
your
get
own
a live
HSN.
stream platform, and you get a live stream platform, and you get a live stream platform. But you can't use it.
You know, I will say that as a live streamer, it's, you know, someone who helps other people live stream, this is a huge opportunity, because I think about CEOs and CMOs that want to build their influence online but don't know how to live stream. They could easily call someone else that's already live streaming, like, hey, you know how to do this. Can I hire you to go ahead and launch my show? And I'd be like, why, yes, I absolutely can. Oh, you want to do something on Amazon? Girl, I got you. So I think it's definitely an opportunity, especially for those of us, you know, in the gig economy where we want to do live streaming for other people. So I think it's exciting.
I think it's awesome. And you guys watching, you need to know that Amazon's live is live. It's out there right now. You go to amazon.com/live, I think, and there's already a channel there. There's already brands live streaming demos and Q&A and that sort of thing of their products. And what's cool is it's just like Facebook, where you can tag your products. So I was looking at it's not a Kino Square, it's a Kino something else. They do cases and things for iPhones. And the guy was doing an unboxing demo of one of their cases. And below the video were little cards with all the versions of their cases that you can buy, just like on a Facebook live stream. So for those of you who have items for sale or can put items for sale on Amazon, you got to talk to Steph, because you got to get your live stream going.
Get pipped out. What?
Right?
As you said that, I actually went over and I'm looking at the site right now. And now this is bad, because now I think we need
bought a new case.
360 marketing squad. I'm like, yeah, now I think the 360 marketing squad should be on there. Come on, let's figure it out, guys.
Absolutely. I love it. Okay, so shout out to Yevie, who just got done with her call and jumped back on. You can tell when she's watching, because then all of a sudden, like all the comments come up. You're like, hey, Yevie, welcome back to the show. All right, so what else is happening in the social media landscape? Mike, what was your kind of like, oh my goodness, something new is happening?
Well, there weren't a lot of other new big things, I got to be honest. And that's what we see often with the social media space, right? There'll be weeks where it's like, oh my gosh, there's 16 things amazing this week. Right. And then other times where, Okay. So one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting was Facebook pages being able to join Facebook groups. And what was kind of puzzling to me is that this isn't actually new. It's been around for months, but it kind of like rolled out to more people, or something very strange happened just a couple weeks ago. And now it was new again to a bunch of people. So
I thought I missed
for those of you who weren't aware, Facebook pages can join groups. Ooh, big news flash, right? But what I really want to talk about is, should they? Should you let Facebook pages in to your groups? Because I don't think so.
Bing, bing. So, yes and no. I mean, I'm running a private Facebook group right now, teaching Facebook ads in 4 weeks. It's a live streaming group. I do all of my trainings live in it, but I can actually join my group as my page. So my Digital Gal page can join my Facebook group, and then I can administer different things as my official page and keep that top of mind, so it's not just Amanda Robinson delivering this content. Because when it comes to live streaming to this group, I can't live stream as a page yet. I can live stream as a person into the group, but I can still have a page presence within my group, so it still has some relevance, so that people know it's the Digital Gal owns, is interacting and engaging within that group. So that's just sort of like I'm sure that's not the most common use for it right now, but then you have other situations where actually another situation regarding the group is that people who are participating in the group and they want to have more than one employee trained, but they don't want to have they don't want to sign each person up individually. So they want to sign up as the page so that the page can access that information. Now, I don't actually have the answer. I don't actually know how that works. If one person signs up as the page, can everybody who has access to that page access that group? I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't tested that.
And I have that in my group. So I have I have like 900 or so members in my Facebook group, and I think I have like 4 or 5 pages as members of the group that I have let in. And it's usually, I would say, at least 3 of those pages, I know who runs those pages. Yeah. And the thing is, the individual is already in the group, but then they join as their page because they want to make sure that the people who help them manage their page can also see what is going on. So it's more of like, if there's an article that I share or there's an update, that way they don't have to like go, and because you can't share from a closed group outside of the group, that way, like, they'll either tag their page name, so the people that are monitoring their page can come in and see the notification, or they can be like, hey, make sure you go in and check Jen's Facebook group. She posted something the other day. I want you to make sure you take a look at it. And that way they can get in and see it without her having to, like, awkwardly try to get that source and copy it and share it with her team. So I think there are ways and reasons for that kind of thing, and that if it's used in the right way, then yes, I think pages should be allowed in. The original skeptic in me was very much to Mike's point, where I was like, I'm not letting pages come into my group, like, because it's so impersonal at that point. And you don't know who is really behind it at that point. And the group is meant to be a safe space and non-promotional. And I want you to be in there as a human being, not always as your page being like, Joe Schmo Photography. And like, it's always self-promotional when you're interacting as your brand versus just Joe Schmo. But again, some people are really big on the fact that they use their pages for different functionality, and they want that, they don't want people to know who they are, individually. They have secrecy reasons why they don't want their personal profile to be broadcast into a group that is still relatively public. And that could be for any variety of reasons, especially people going through a divorce who aren't allowed to be on social media and talk about things and have their profile explained. And so they want to log in as a page. Like, there's a lot of reasons why people would want to come to the page, but generally speaking, I'm skeptical. And I vet the pages before I allow a page into the group. I make sure I go and look at the page, who the page is, who runs it, what kind of content they have, before I will actually allow them into the group.
That's cool. Well, I will say that for Lights Camera Live, for our mastermind, a couple of our members tried to add themselves as pages. And what I found was that certain functionalities don't work with pages. Like, if I wanted to do a poll, they couldn't vote in a poll. And I was like, well, that completely sucked. And right? Yeah. And then when I used to use the strategist group as my page, I actually noticed that if I posted as my page, the reach for the post paled in comparison if I actually published as a profile. And I thought that was like, oh, okay. So I was like testing it for about 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, posting as my profile gets better reach. But one of the advantages of actually posting as a page in your group is that anyone that engages with your post, you can then invite them to like your page. So that's where I was like, oh, okay, gotta figure this out. But I would say, like, for my crew, for the Captivators, it's I would say use your profile, because that's how we're testing out how to live stream. There's polls in there and all that good stuff. Mike, did you want to add anything?
Because these are some great perspectives, and what we're really getting to is the answer. It depends, like many marketers always like to say, like me. But I think it depends on the nature of the group and who's accessing it. I totally agree with you, Amanda. It is awesome that the owner of the group can add their brand page to the group and do a lot of things along those lines. So that makes complete sense. Where I've seen this break down is in our own paid group, where paying members wanted to join as pages, and because their pages were part of, say, Business Manager, they don't get notifications on the normal Facebook platform or in the normal Facebook app, which means they don't see what's going on in the group. So they're paying to see what's going on, but they don't see it unless they actually go out of their way to log in as their page or do something on those lines. And so they were missing out. And I actually had one of our group members swap out. She came in as her profile, and we took her page out of the group. And she was much happier because she could see what was going on. Yeah. So those are the kinds of things that I want people to just simply think through. If you are managing a group or more than one group on Facebook, think through the ramifications of allowing pages into that group.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Sometimes Mike makes good points.
That was it. That was the one good point for the year.
No, that's like the second mic drop for today.
That's like the second mic drop just today.
Don't use them all up at once, Mike. Come on, we have more broadcasts to get through eventually.
Exactly. Well, shout out to Bree, Evie, and the rest of the crew that are still tuning in. If you guys have any questions, any comments about what we're talking about today, go ahead and drop them in the comments. We'll go ahead and show them up on the screen. Amanda, Jen, and Mike, I know you guys are also keeping an eye out on your pages just to see what's happening. So if you want to give a special shout out to anyone right now, here you go.
I want to give a huge shout out to Anna. I love it when Anna jumps on our live streams. She is the best when it comes to commenting and sharing all the praise in the world. I love you, girl. So thanks for watching.
Anna, yay. All right, cool. So what else is happening? What else has dropped in the social media landscape that you guys are aware of? Amanda, go for it.
Just before jumping on this broadcast, I was getting a new update rolling out on the Pages app for Facebook. So those of you who manage pages, you can have your Facebook app, which is just your personal app for using Facebook. And then there's the Pages app where you manage your Facebook pages, and you can toggle between different pages. And it's a good spot for dealing with notifications and accessing your page inbox for responding to messages to your page. There have been some little minor tweaks and changes that I've noticed recently. And then just before jumping on this show, the whole app has gone through a complete facelift, and everything looks different, and it seems to be much more useful. So I'm really excited to go in and grab some screenshots on that. But obviously, I mean, it happened just as we were going live. I'm like, no, like shiny. We're like, can't play with this now.
Also on the new just happened, Stephanie found out about the videos autoplaying today.
Let's talk about that.
Oh,
yeah. Right?
All right. So here's what happened yesterday is I had Vanessa Cabrera on the show, and it was a great show, and it was a ton of fun. And then someone else that I was connected to went live. Usually that's no big deal. But all of a sudden, Facebook decided to autoplay the other live stream in my notifications without me even clicking on it. And I was like, yo, what is happening right now? And then I started to go to other business pages, like even our page, you guys. And every single one of our videos would autoplay all at the same time. And it was like, whoa, sensory overload. I had to just shut it down. And
autoplaying with audio on. Like
audio on.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Like I just got goosebumps because I was so pissed off. I was like, what is happening? Yeah, and it was so frustrating. And apparently, like, Mari Smith is getting the same thing, too, because she had posted about it. But, Jen, you don't have it. And I was like, oh, my God, Jen, can I log in as you?
You had posted. I didn't know, but you posted about it, and then you tagged, the wonderful world of Jen gifts that I love to create for the world. So you're welcome, world. But Stephanie had posted a gif of me in one of the comments about it. And I was like, oh, I totally don't have this. And literally like 2 minutes later, I go over and I'm scrolling through something else on Facebook and I see Mari Smith had just posted, and she was literally live streaming on camera when a notification popped up that auto played with audio on. Like, she thought somebody jumped into the call because it started playing cross audio. And she was like, what is going on? And like, I mean, again, Mari Smith is like the queen of handling things as they happen live. And she, I'm sure, recovered without any issue. But can you imagine being live and then having new live audio or like video audio pipe into your live show? Like, talk about totally throwing you off your game and like really messing with everything. And I really hope, like, Steph, to your point, the fact that everything started auto-playing and it's, like, sensory overload because now you've got multiple things playing at once. I really hope this is some sort of, like, rollout feature glitch.
I hope
that
so, too.
It's not meant to be this way, because I, knocking on every piece of wood in my office, have not got this functionality yet. It hasn't happened to me, but it terrifies me.
Yeah.
It really does.
It can't. It just can't be. Like, I would say I would bet money on it just being a glitch, and this is not something that's going to start happening unless they're trying to cross over the features like on Instagram. When you hit the audio on Instagram on video, or anything on Instagram, then all of the audio is on until you back out of the app and then go back in, or however you handle it. So I'm wondering if Facebook is testing the same kind of concept, that maybe you do want to watch things with audio on, but it sounds like what you were experiencing, Stephanie, where all of the videos everywhere are playing. That's
everything. And I think it definitely does a disservice to the content creators that are doing video, because now if your live streams are annoying people, right? Like, I was literally in the strategist group telling Mike, I was like, I kind of want to turn off my notifications, and I know that I shouldn't because then I'll miss out on what's happening. But it was, I basically just ditched Facebook for a good part of the day because I was like, they got to figure this stuff out.
And that's the thing, if that's happening, like if let's say I'm at work minding my own business and I'm happen to be scrolling through Facebook and things start playing audio, I'm not going to try to find that audio to shut it down. I'm going to close out of Facebook. I'm just going to shut down Facebook and leave running screaming for the hills, because why is there now all of a sudden audio piping through my computer that shouldn't be there? So this has to be, in my mind, some sort of a glitch, or they're trying to add a functionality, but they put too much functionality into it, because this does not seem like a logical way for videos to play. If they autoplay, with no audio and they've got the subtitles, like we've been doing that forever. That's fine. That's great. Let it do what it does. Yeah. But to automatically play the audio, that's pushing some boundaries. It's going to really, I would think, drop retention. I think it would get, kicking people off of Facebook, because I'm going to be like, close, dismiss, bye-bye.
I don't even think it's worth speculating on, because it's like I said, I would bet money that it's a glitch that I don't even think it's something going to have to worry about. I think it's just something that, well, we're worrying about it right now because it's obviously causing a ripple effect issue, but I can't see this being something that is realistic.
Well, there's two things going on, two different things, because I was actually on a call with Mari yesterday, and she was looking at our Facebook page, the 360 Marketing Squad Facebook page, and she said to me, oh, you guys got the new Spotlight video.
Yeah.
We've always had a featured video, right? But she said Spotlight video because it was auto-playing at the top. The featured video was auto-playing with audio on, and so she thought that was different. And I think, Steph, that's partly what you were saying, right? Where you went to our page and all the videos were playing.
Every single freaking live stream.
It's obviously not a good idea.
This is a good opportunity to tell everybody, if you want to see what we're talking about, go over to 360 Marketing.
No, it's embarrassing. Pick another page,
all of
not
our
ours.
Videos, all of our outtakes, all of our funny jib jabs, which
like T-Rex noises and Mike's toes, and just it's all out of context.
But yeah, the notifications, I think, are a different thing, because for a while now we've had the video notifications, right? Where if somebody responds to you, a comment that you left on somebody else's live video, that notification will come up. I'm pointing over here, right? Because this is where everybody looks. It comes up over here, and there's a little preview of the video, silent, and then the comment. That's what used to happen, and now we're getting the audio, which is what happened to me this morning. Somebody went live, I left a comment, and then I was getting boom, 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 likes and replies and reactions to that comment. And every single time my computer would go off with 5 seconds of the same first 5 seconds of that same video over and over. Yeah. I think that's definitely a bug.
Yeah. And Lee brought up something, because Lee was saying, like, what if, you are doing your own live stream and someone else live streams and all of a sudden they're doing copyright music? Will that take yours down? Yeah! Like, I've seen, yeah. So I was just, damn it, Facebook, stop that.
That's the one thing I have noticed that seems to be different lately is somewhat, I don't know if this is what you were saying, Mike, but where somebody tags me in the comment of a live video, and I click on the tag, it's opening up the live video playing with audio. So when I'm just checking notifications and I click on a notification, it's throwing me right into a live video with audio. And I'm like, no, stop. So I think Facebook, go home, you're drunk.
And then that's where I put in like the seriously WTF gif of Jen.
Yes.
Oh, Facebook, y'all are cray right now. Cool.
And I've got a question on my profile over here. Anna is saying, is Facebook responsive if there's a glitch? And I think for the most part, when a glitch happens, Facebook is very aware of it, and I'm sure that they're tinkering to make change, especially if it's a glitch enough that Stephanie is noticing it, Mari Smith is noticing it, Mike is noticing it. I mean, usually when Facebook goes,
they're on it.
If Mike notices. When Facebook goes glitchy, it has traditionally always heralded positive change. It's usually the sign, the rumblings of something really cool coming. They're usually making changes to the platform in the back end, and there's new features or something really cool that Facebook is working on. But this is just the ripple effect, kind of the tidal wave that we're getting of change before the change actually takes effect. So
live
I get excited.
VR chatbots. That's what's coming.
I am loving all the gift magic you guys are giving me today, because it has been a while since I've done a blooper, and it's about to happen.
Like, under gold on this show, you guys.
I'm scared. Gifts are something that you can't take back. The gift that keeps on giving. The gift that keeps on gifting.
That's very true. Yeah, I seriously have the ones of Jen just saved on my phone. Well, hey, Bree, and everyone else that is watching, Dawn, if you guys have any other updates that you know about that we haven't talked about, by all means, go ahead and drop them in the comments. We would love to hear it, because we're coming up on our 40 minutes, and I think we're going to wrap it up because it's Friday, and I still got stuff to do.
We all got stuff to do.
So say what you got to say. Cool. Anyone else working on anything cool right now?
I was just going to share, not something I'm working on, but Twitter is doing something really interesting where they've decided maybe they should work on improving their actual platform. So maybe we should, form a focus group or something and give people some beta access. So that's what they're doing. They're forming this beta group, and they're testing how they can improve things like conversations. And one of the details that's already come out is that right now, when you reply to a tweet, it kind of shows up as a new tweet in your feed. And what they're looking at testing is making replies to tweets threaded underneath that tweet, just like every other social network.
Oh my God, I would love that.
A new tweet.
I would love that. That would get the girl who's not on Twitter back on Twitter.
Ooh. Well, hey, Jack, you hear that?
Listening?
And that's big. That's very big news. I celebrated my 10-year Twitterversary. I've been on Twitter for 10 years.
Wow.
And you celebrated with your 10th tweet ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tweet per year.
I celebrated by copying it, putting it on Instagram.
Oh my God.
That's perfect.
Okay, so we got a question from Pam. Pam is asking if the 360 Squad is going to have a meet up in San Diego, because hello, we're all going to be here in San Diego.
Pam, you are feeling my vibes over here, Pam. I got you, girl. I was going to say, literally, before we wrap it up, since this is our last show before Social Media Marketing World, we should remind everybody that we're going to be in Social Media Marketing World.
Yeah.
And yeah, we haven't planned a specific meetup. We tossed around the idea of doing it. But for a lot of logistical reasons, getting a venue, getting a location, time of day, there's so many other things going on. And a lot of the 360 squad members are not able to come to Social Media Marketing World physically. They may be doing the virtual tickets or attending that way, but they're not able to actually come to San Diego. So we've decided not to do anything formal in terms of an actual meetup at this point for 360 at Social Media Marketing World, but we're all going to be there. And we're going to be at a whole lot of places doing a whole lot of things with a whole lot of people. So there will absolutely be plenty of opportunities for all of us to get together. All of us are going to be in town. Well, Steph and I aren't going anywhere, obviously. But all of us will be here starting, I think, on Monday. So there will be dinners and gatherings, and by all means, we can maybe start a thread for 360 members in the group, in the Facebook group, and just say, if you're coming, tell us when you're coming in, and we can try to at least coordinate some sort of a meetup and grab some photos and say hi to everybody and hugs and all those fun things.
Well, there is an informal DIM summit that is going down.
I wasn't sure if we were sharing that publicly, so I didn't want to say it.
Never mind. Sorry, rewind.
No, this is on you and George. You tell everybody about it. Go for it, girl. I mean, at this point, we're taking over an entire city, not just even a tiny restaurant. I don't even know how many people wanted to get in on this. I should
probably give them a heads up, huh? Yeah, so it's going to be an informal dinner, basically, at this point, and everyone seems really excited about it, but let's be honest, by the time Friday rolls around, people are like, I am talked out. I need to wear some flats. People are like, I need to go to the spa. So who knows what the size is going to be like, but yeah, I think there's going to be DIM Summit for sure.
And can I just say, though, Mike, because you were there last year when we did the Friday night dinner at that Italian restaurant afterwards. And every year I have bounced out, after the keynote on Friday, if I even make it to the keynote on Friday, I bounce out, I go home, I put the feet up, and I pass out for 24 hours after the conference. But last year before I could bounce out of it, I got roped into planning a dinner for the Friday night, and it was originally supposed to be 6 people. It ended up being 26 people when all was said and done, because nobody wanted to right? No one wanted the conference to end. It ended up being one of these weird random things. Everyone was like, oh, well, we're getting together for dinner. Okay, now it's 10 people, 12 people, 16 people, 22 people. It just kind of kept growing. And so I think we'll probably have a lot of people there for DIM Summit, because I think it'll be one of those things, if no one else is planning something, if there is something being planned, everyone's going to want to join it, because no one wants to go back to their hotel room, or unless they're actually leaving, nobody wants to go home at that point, and they accept the fact that it's done. Everyone's kind of no, one last thing.
Yeah, dude, I'm totally imagining soju bombs on a Friday night. We did it!
Right? I speak on Friday, so I can finally let loose on Friday, because now my Thursday night is ruined, and I can't be up till 4 a.m. Shite face like I was last year, because I actually got to talk Friday morning. Dang it!
You got to feel your face on Friday.
Poor Jen.
Right?
I know, poor Jen.
I have to be able to stand and talk on Friday. I'm you've just ruined my entire Thursday night.
And this is why I don't speak at Marketing.
I want to give a shout out to Jeff C., who is watching over on the Digital Gal, and a nice shout out to my sister Regan, who's also putting in of all the love happening over there. So big hello over there. I also just want to just put this in perspective for everybody with the hands going, the jazz hands. So we have the 360 marketing. We have our public page that you are probably watching this on right now. You're either watching this on 360 Marketing Squad's public page, or you're watching it cross-posted on one of our individual pages. But just to keep it, Ian Anderson Gray tuning in. Hey, Ian. We also
Is it 4 o'clock in the morning for Ian? What are you doing up, man? Go to bed.
Be thankful, Mike. Stop being mean to our viewers.
Thank you, Ian. Love ya.
So we have our Facebook page, the 360 Marketing Squad. Then we have cross-posting that we have going on our pages, which some of you are commenting on. And then we also have our closed Facebook group, which is the $5 a month, very special group where you can sign up for the 360 Marketing Squad and come and get this type of creativity and fun every day of the week, should you choose. So I just wanted to different where people are seeing this showing up on their Facebook page, if you're actually going to our 360 Marketing Squad, where we broadcast this show out every 2 weeks, or we have been every 2 weeks, but there's so much more that happens inside the closed group, $5. If you're not already a 360 Marketing Squad member, it's time.
It's time.
Peel back.
Right?
Inside joke, because Amanda has like this curtain thing, and Chad was all like, "Hey, what you doing in there?" We're like, "What?"
Yeah, I'm rocking a black backdrop this time. So I carry around, this is actually his backdrop. Normally I have my other backdrop. And I've been trying to, you should say, I live streamed from my car this morning because I wasn't prepared and it wasn't set up. So yeah, don't put it past me to live stream pretty much anywhere. Actually, I'm in a public park right now. If I pull this, I'm kidding.
Oh my god, I wish you had like a green screen behind you, because now I want to like put like a homeless person just like, like where is the digital? No, like where are you?
I was live streaming this morning though. I was in the car and had a small dog in the car with me, and a FedEx person came by and dropped off a package. So the dog was going absolutely crazy, barking and growling and snarling at the FedEx person. The FedEx person doesn't just walk up and drop back at Dad's front door.
Wait.
The FedEx person stops at the car to try and talk to me.
You
like,
get FedEx delivered to your car?
Right?
I wish.
Is that a
Holy cow, that's like digital nomad 10 levels.
Right? Just track my license plate, my VIN number, and just bring the package directly to me.
If that could please happen, that would solve so many problems for me, because that's one of the big issues I have with digital nomading is that when I change locations, I can't find packages anywhere. So it's like I have to pre-plan where I'm going to be and like change the address and have it sent to a spot. And if there's a problem, then I don't get whatever it is. And right now I had, woe was me, as much as Jen is complaining about not being able to be shit-faced drunk. She has to do her social media marketing world talk. I'm complaining about my fancy.
I was like, it's not me this time.
Embellishing a little. But I had to. Bose. I treated myself. I splurged and bought myself a pair of those Bose over-ear Quiet Comfort noise canceling headphones, which have been an absolute godsend for digital nomading, the different places I'm sleeping, the different places that I'm broadcasting, live streaming from, and all that. They've been amazing. But I only got a couple weeks into having them, and the noise canceling stopped working, so I have to send them back. Well, as a digital nomad, what do I do? Because they can only do it by mail. I have to send this package of headphones back. They have to receive it in their warehouse.
My house, and you can have them when you get back out here for Marketing World.
And then they have to ship it to an address. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to. I can't exchange it in a store. I can't do anything like that. So this is like hashtag digital nomad problems. But Julie Riley has offered, so she's shipping and receiving from there, and she'll bring them with her to Social Media Marketing World.
Yeah, talk to the guy who has shipped you like 16 Agorapalooza hoodies. And they're just trailing behind you. There's all these people now on the East Coast that have Agorapalooza hoodies.
I have all of these Agorapalooza. They're like, I don't know what it is, but it's a free sweater. I'm gonna go wear it.
I know. I was like, are these like homeless people now? That's not a good thing, Mike.
I will say I was very lucky. I did have somebody out in North Carolina who was able to actually intercept and retrieve the package that was left outside on the front step, and was able to reroute that package to me when I was in Lexington, Kentucky. But I think, is there another package that is still routing to Lexington right now?
Probably. I don't know.
So yes, there is a trail of Agorapulse swag that's following me as I migrate around the country. And hashtag digital nomad problems.
That is so funny.
I don't know how
on that note.
On that note, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you have any other questions about things that we talked about the Instagram direct messaging, which Jen is like, not cool. If you'd like to do voice messages on Instagram, hey, message me. We talked about live streaming that's coming over to LinkedIn and to Amazon. If you guys have access to that, by all means, please hit us up. Let us know. We would love to take a peek and see what's happening. And we would love to hear your thoughts about adding pages to groups. Are you yay or are you nay? And we'll go from there. Anything else you guys want to add?
No, just that this is the last episode of season 1. We'll be back with season 2 at a date to be determined. We don't know. We don't know what we're going to talk about, when we're going to talk about it, but we'll be back.
Alrighty. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, Bree, Yevie, Dawn, Jeff, everyone tuning in. You guys are absolutely amazing. Take care, you guys. Bye.
Bye.